In this video, we have a look at how we determine if two quantities are directly proportional to each other. And we also look at how we can use an equation to solve for an unknown value, given that we do have a value for another quantity which is directly proportional to the unknown. One way to determine if two quantities are directly proportional to each other is to examine some values like in a table shown here. What we want to do is compare the ratio between the two quantities and see if it remains constant. So in the first instance, our ratio between x and y is 2 to 3, and there's nothing much we can do to simplify that. It would be a good idea to pause here and check the other ratios for yourself and see if you can determine what they simplify to. So going through this whole table, we can see that each ratio simplifies to the ratio 2 to 3. That does mean that these two quantities are directly proportional to each other. What we can do now is to determine an equation which ties these two variables together. The basic equation for two variables in direct proportion is y equals kx, where k is some unknown constant. And we'll substitute a pair of values in. We can use any pair, but in this case we'll use x equals 2 and y equals 3 and keep it simple. When we do that, we find that the k value is equal to 1.5. So our equation for these two variables in direct proportion is y equals 1.5x. So let's say that we wanted to find x if y was equal to 36. We can substitute 36 for y and then solve for x. And when we do that by dividing both sides of our equation by 1.5, we get a solution that x equals 24. Another way to tell if two variables are in direct proportion is they follow a linear pattern. And we can see here from the first graph that our line intersects at the origin, and it is of the form y equals kx. That means that the two variables are directly proportional to each other. On the right side, we have a linear equation in the graph, but it does not intersect at the origin. So these two variables are not directly proportional to each other.